like, because when I was talking to Nanda, and there was like a 3-hour session about everything that we were doing, and I was stupid enough not to record it because I'm going to have to do it again with Mel.
That'll do it.
and then with other people, right? I'd rather have me on screen and save myself the 3 hours. So let's just be smart about the shit that we do today, and tape everything so that we don't have to do the same thing again, right? Just as a matter of principle,
that's my goal. Curate content once, don't have to put it on repeat.
Yeah, and Kush is going to start a new vlog or a new series. So about 5 minutes of Kush every Friday. It's going to be called French with Kush, and because he speaks French really eloquently. So yeah, est-ce que c'est pas correct, Kush? C'est okay?
That's fantastic. So by the time I come visit, will I be able to speak French, Kush? Oh, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Unmute.
If you speak my French when you're out on the streets, man, you get in trouble.
Ah, I see. So I'm going to need a little bit of James's and a little bit of yours as well. I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming, everyone, or for jumping on this call, and good morning to you all. Jean-Francois, first of all, thank you so much for all of the graphics, the imagery. It all looks really, really fantastic. Shaz, I sent over some comments on both the Satoshi's Lounge document and the other one, but the other one looks pretty great. I don't think I made really many changes to that at all. Kush, I'm sure you're doing great work. I got no idea what the legal docs look like, but keep it up, mate. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Thumbs up. Okay, good. Got it from James. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. So the way we're going to find very easily our social media sites, there are 12 of them in total, really 11 active
Ben,
ones.
I'm sorry. I think, I don't know for the other guys, but my connection seems sporadic. Keeps breaking up.
Anyone else having connection issues? All good on, yep. It is Kush. Kush, I don't know. I think it's just you. I'm going to move forward and hopefully it catches up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you're all familiar with the drive. What I had, just to show you, under the marketing section, I had my own little folder, as we all do. And the only thing in here were the social media accounts. And these will be added to and adjusted over time. But for now, since it's all live, you can hop into social media. I have made a copy of the social media accounts here, and we're going to actually open up 2 documents. One's pretty great. This one here, James wrote as far as a descriptor for everything that we're using on our social media sites, branding, the about us, that kind of stuff. And we'll let this load. So if any of you have a minute, take a moment and read what James wrote about the social media sites. They're also reflected on the sites themselves as much as they can be. James, we can discuss this later. There's character limits on certain websites, so obviously I can't fit all of this in. But the way James broke it down is very simple. Here's the social media site. Here is the company that he is describing, and here's some more about DX Team, which he said he's covering Ducorp and DX Team here on LinkedIn. You go down here, We have DX Team Medium. This is everything that James wants in the About section. So just have a read of everything, because not all of it's going to be able to fit into our online profiles. And here...
Yeah. And Ben, really quickly, maybe I can just add, like, these are generic things that we have at this point in time, right? And obviously it won't all fit with the characters, as you say. So in the meantime, you are basically amending these to just make it fit, right? And then Nanda on the other side is coming in to polish some of these things. So it will evolve over time, obviously. I just want to point that out.
Absolutely, everything. And it should evolve over time. We should be making changes to everything. So as you can all see, we start here at Ducorp from the top. We should end up with 11 social accounts plus one meetup account, which is the local Mauritian meetup. And it's very easy to follow along. It's broken down by company, and each one, their active social media profiles, you can follow along here. So DX Team's the most active. We're going to go ahead and find them on Facebook. You just hover right over it, click the link, and wait for my slow internet. And here we are. We're a public group, and this is something that we can talk about. The way I formed the Facebook group, anyone can post in here. In fact, DX Team does not post as DX Team within the Facebook group. I'm going to make everyone a moderator, maybe not full administrator, but you'll all be able to post content in here as members of DX Team. For people to follow along and things like that. So I've posted a couple of things to get started. As you can see, I set up a little bit of the about me, changed the group settings. So you can now go view the group. It's public, as you can see. And here are a couple of articles that I put up earlier today, my time. And very quickly, when you get to the group, it's going to right here, it's going to tell you to follow or leave, or rather follow is going to be your only option since you're not a member yet. And right there, and it'll come right here on your shortcuts. So as you can see, I've got Ducorp, DX Team, am.vc, all rate.mu, all of those. So
really quick question, Ben.
Sure.
If you're back on Facebook right now,
Okay.
what I want to point out, go back to the Facebook. Yeah, scroll up like the image. My question is, do you think that the print, like the wording on this is too small, or do you think it's appropriate for people?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I would make all of it bigger. I don't know how much you want it centered, but I would make it a bit larger and move it a little off to the left so it doesn't obscure the lion's face or the jaguar's face.
Jean-François, what do you think?
You think he thinks it's good?
He basically, you can unmute yourself. Do you know how to do it?
C'est bon?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can make it bigger.
Okay. Especially the tags more than anything. In fact, here's what it looks like if it loads.
But you can't resize it.
No, you can't resize it on Facebook. Unfortunately, they make it fit. However, it looks quite nice the way you laid it out.
Okay. So I'm going to work on it. Yeah. Good.
All right, James, did you want to look at anything else here? I'm sure you're all familiar with Facebook, but
yeah, we're good.
Liking, commenting, and sharing. When you see a member of the team, Kush has already gone and liked this. When we make a post, these are our hashtags, as James has discussed, and this is in regards to DX Team, Beast Mode, Renaissance, and Stories That Matter. As time goes on and things develop, what people do, the reason you have hashtags is you can click them, and anyone who has used the hashtag Beast Mode will come up on Facebook. It won't, of course, always be relevant to us, but the more we use it, the more it will be. So we'll start coming up with these 3 tags. They'll populate more and more, especially as we use them over all of our social media channels. Anybody have any questions on Facebook? Okay, super simple.
I think we're good. Yep.
Okay,
Cheers.
great. Moving on, LinkedIn. This one, it's catering towards a more professional audience. Some of you may or may not have LinkedIn's. If I strongly suggest you all go ahead and build one simply for the sake of following along with the team. And it, of course, looks good, helps you network. And get rid of that. So here is what we look like on LinkedIn. And I'm viewing this page as a member, so this is what you would all see. You could come in and follow. I went ahead and did that. And just a little bit, it's a bit more professional, as you can see. It doesn't give as much of a creative type culture. A lot of what we're going to be posting on LinkedIn are relevant articles in the space more than simply the local meetup and stuff that we put on Twitter and Facebook. So on LinkedIn, all you can do is like a post, share a post. So it's basically much more limited version of Facebook. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. If you have any questions, let me know, but it's pretty straightforward.
Ben, really quickly on LinkedIn, sorry, mate.
No worries.
Going again in terms of the visual right now, and I want to ask this question to both you and Jean-Francois, like whether the banners, right, like are centered, like is there anything to be done there, right? Like see how it's not centered, right? Does that matter, or do we just not give a fuck about it for now?
This part right here?
Yeah. Can you center it or no?
No, I can't make any changes to these.
Okay.
There's
then
no
leave it. Then no problem.
Okay. Our Twitter account, same steps. Hope you're all picking up the pattern. It's pretty simple stuff here. We're putting in the same hashtags here: beast mode, stories that matter, Renaissance. James, we can talk about this more as I continue to see it. You know, we've got Ducorp X team here, we've got DX team here, but our tag is actually at Ducorp XT. So streamlining the name, we can adjust all of this.
Yeah, I think what like we were talking about last night, man, like I think that we need to standardize all of this. And I do like the mileage that, calling it Ducorp XT has, because it puts in perspective the logo, the branding, as well as everything else, right? So we should pick one, because of different social media channels, what you have is this disparity. One is Ducorp's X Team, the other one is Ducorp X Team, the other one Ducorp XT. Like, I think we should streamline this. I want to hear what other people think about it as well.
So do I, yeah. So James and I, as you all could hear, we're having a discussion. As you can see, we've got 3 different names, essentially, or the way we could call it. We have Ducorp X Team, the full name. We refer to ourselves as DX Team. But James and I both feel that there's a bit more gravitas behind Ducorp XT or Ducorp X Team, because it more embodies the Ducorp company as well as XT and everything that comes with it. But would love to open this up for discussion.
Well, starting with Jean-Francois, what do you think?
In fact, I like both DX Team and Ducorp X Team. It's like Jean-Francois and GF for me. Yeah. So I would keep Ducorp X Team. It looks more serious than DX Team. For me, DX looks like an advertising agency or digital communication agency. But Ducorp looks more serious, more corporate. Well, this is my feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I'd go back to this, right? DX Team is lost on the logo of Ducorp. if we have the same logo in my mind, and we're trying to drive a brand through the heart of our community, it should probably spell out Ducorp X Team, but it's long, so Ducorp XT might be the interesting part in there. Kush and Victor is also on the line, right, Kush?
Yeah, I am.
James, I think we should stick with Ducorp XT rather than go with Ducorp XT. I don't think the T, like XT, sounds very catchy, whereas the team X Team sounds better for me. And I agree that we should keep just one rather than having DX Team and Ducorp X Team, because we're telling a story, and if we can't just, if we keep referring to, oh, hang on, yeah, this is DX Team, and then another one we are Ducorp X Team, it's confusing, right? Whereas we know internally what it is. For the audience out there, it might be two different things.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. And I think XT, to me, XT sounds cool, but it sounds really Microsoft-y, right? Like XT. but it's also shorter.
And
right?
Also keep in mind, and I agree as well, because the Ducorp X Team presents the best image overall for the company. However, in social media, unfortunately, that wouldn't be an allowable name or tag for something like Twitter. So you'd have to have a handle that would be shortened to Ducorp XT in certain situations. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, my thought is we go with a shorter one, right?
I agree.
That's the thing. Victor, any thoughts? Victor and Shaz? Jean, please mute when you're not on. Thank you, man.
For me, I think the DXT is a good one. It's more relatable. It's more easier to.
Yeah,
it suits the whole Twitter handle.
Mm-hmm. Like the Ducorp XT, you mean?
Yes, the Ducorp XT.
Yeah. And also, like, let's just not think about this from a perspective of being right in terms of how do I say this? Proper English, right? People stopped writing proper English when they had text messages. Like, before you is before you, right? So people actually catch on to this stuff. So the shorter it is, the quicker it is to remember. So that's what I would do. And in places of like what do you call it? LinkedIn, right? You could have Ducorp X Team, because that thing is so Ducorp X Team with the handles or whatever it is as Ducorp XT. Does that make sense? Right? Because you've got Ducorp X Team at the top and then handle Ducorp XT. I think that makes it relate more, and it's also shorter. Shaz, what do you think?
Ducorp X Team seems better.
Yeah, and then
DXT.
and then Ducorp XT for handles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ben, I think that's what we do, mate. Right? Like, we take a decision and we roll on. We call it Ducorp X Team everywhere, not Ducorp's ', etc., because that's what it is on YouTube. And then the handles, as far as we can, call it Ducorp XT, because I think that is probably obtainable, right? Yes. Compared to Ducorp X Team, right? Okay.
Correct. All right, great. So moving on from there, we've reached an agreement. YouTube, so as James said, you'll see, we have different branding, and that'll all change quickly, and I'm sure it'll change over time as well. So here is our YouTube channel. So just like James said, right now it's Ducorp's X team. So I'll change that very quickly when we finish this. But again, getting across beast mode, stories that matter, Renaissance. Now, what's unusual about YouTube, when you visit a specific channel, so this takes you to the channel directly, because remember, we're following from our account or from our spreadsheet. We're not searching directly on YouTube. You're not going to find the videos immediately. You actually have to click right here on the videos section to find the one that we've got loaded so far. So this is where everything's going to be. As soon as we get enough content in here, we can put it into different channels, but we don't have any so far. So that's how it's going to go. If you look, just remember, when you get to YouTube, go to the videos. The only thing you can do here, the thumbs up, share it. That's about it. Comments as well. Any questions? Okay.
I think we're good. Like, the only thing that I would say is, Ben, you know, like, does YouTube allow for? Okay, so no, like the URL for it, because it looks like with a bunch of numbers at the end, etc. Do we have a shortened URL like in Twitter, right, where you put slash and then, right, like the Ducorp XT, or like LinkedIn where I can slash my name, or is that not a YouTube thing?
So you can actually customize it, I believe. Before we get too far into it.
I mean, just have a look at it later on. Like,
I'll have a look at it. I remember seeing it somewhere where you can actually you can change it. But yes, there's a section. So you basically want it to be youtube.com/channel, DXT or Ducorp XT up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that.
So something shorter that people can just
of course,
intuitively go to, right?
Of course. I will get that looked at. So finally, we have Medium, which has actually been the trickiest one for me. It's the most professional or journalistic, so to speak. So when you all send me articles and I put them up into Medium, Medium actually reformats them, so I have to go ahead and break them back down and get them back in their correct order. So here's what we look like on Medium. And I am actually going to share, let's see.
Hey, Ben, just a quick note on this, Ducorp X Team as well as the title, right? Like where it says DX Team.
Yep, I will go. My incognito is not working. Sorry, let me go back to that other one. Yes, this is gonna have to be changed to Ducorp X Team to match this right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So where we're at, I've got, as you can see, everybody's stories here, and what I'm thinking about doing. So these are all individual stories, and as soon as I figure this out more clearly, we can turn it into what's called a publication. So people could follow these weekly. I don't think this particular set of stories would be one that we would have a publication on, because it's a one-time kind of an about us. But if any of you ever feel like writing something on a regular basis, like Kush's French talks, we can put that on. We can put some stuff on Medium and go from there.
Yeah.
Also.
Just really quickly before I lose that point, Ben, that I will be demanding of everyone to actually push as much content as we possibly can. Like, this war on social media and all that is not won by just releasing one article, etc. It's won by the quantity and not necessarily the quality of the stuff. So more in terms of content is really good. As you say, this is an introduction about us, but there could also be follow-up right, as we grow ourselves, but maybe in something like not every week, maybe something every month. In between, we've got to add value to the people that we want to actually listen to what we have, right? So I just wanted to make that point. I'm sorry to break your flow.
No, all good and a very valid point. Can you all see what I just created here? Social media content. Yep. Yes, no, okay. So I just created this for the exact purpose of what James has said. If you all want to put anything on social media, publish any documents or anything, put it here. Don't worry about, you can make it a Word document, a PDF, a Google Doc, however you'd like to write it, put it in here. Don't worry about grammar. I go through that. I have a program that helps me get all that sorted. So just, do a brain dump anytime you have some ideas. Just throw them in here for social media content. You can even just keep a running thing of where you want them posted. If you want to write a tweet or anything like that, put it there. I'll take a look at it every day and push that content out. So going back to Medium, and it looks like some people have figured it out. You can actually give, I can't right now because I can't give my own channel claps. You can actually give up to 50 claps per person. So it's very important to remember anytime a new article is published. Of course, the first thing you're going to do is come in and you're going to follow the X team. Congratulations. Who do we have? Who's following us? Oh, just the Medium staff. None of us have followed so far. So we all, oh, here you are. 8 followers. So good job. Y'all actually have jumped in and taken a look at it. Okay, awesome. So Medium, just to kind of put Medium in perspective, Medium is a great repository of content, and it's a great place to link back to. So we're going to have these great stories and a lot of content as you all populate the social media folder. And a lot of it is going to go into Medium, and then it's going to be disseminated to Facebook and Twitter. And we're going to be quoting, in order to entice people to read, of course, take some moving quotes from each of our stories and everything that we write, and use that as our posts across different social media channels. So we're going to be bringing everything back to Medium for the readers, and that's where all of our content will be. So
I do have a question. Can you just explain what the DX Team Stories is? Is that a subfolder of DX Team that we can create a lot of? Say for Satoshi's Lounge, for example, if we want to create something about Satoshi's Lounge, can we say DX Team, the editor of Satoshi's Lounge?
Yeah, so I can try to show you right now. So what I've created right now are stories, and they're each, as you can see, individual. But what you can create is something known as a series. And I haven't played around with it too much, but you can clearly tell. So right here, if you were going to put Satoshi's Lounge, and we could talk about something today and publish it, and then we could do another part of the series on another day to go back into Satoshi's Lounge. That's what I believe this is for.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think that, so is DX Team Stories, is that a series? Is that how you created it?
No, but I can change it to that if you think that would be better. But see,
I don't know.
A series to me is something that's continual. And our individual stories are one piece of content rather than a weekly update or a monthly update, unless we plan on updating our lives or writing an about us, every month. Then we can certainly turn a series to make it a series. Thoughts? I like both ways, honestly, James. I think they're both great. It's just it's the way it reads. You're just going to come down here and, to see James, you'd have to go all the way to the bottom, versus a series, you might be able to find them a little bit faster. I haven't figured that all out yet. So James, if you'd like, I can reformat it. We can have a look and then decide. Yep.
Ben, I've got a question, right?
Yeah, Kush.
On the claps, can you clap for yourself, or is it other people that you clap?
Yeah, you can clap for yourself.
I think you should all clap for yourselves, right? Because you should really get the that feeling that you've done something right. So clap for yourself, right, before anyone else does.
The good thing is I've got 50 claps, but I haven't even clapped for myself yet. So I'm going to start clapping now.
So you can start clapping now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go back up, Ben, really quickly, where it says profile, it would be great if we could add, like, there's other links like Satoshi's Lounge, Fine and Rate, like all these things, right? So that how, like, we can classify. I don't know if it can be done, but this is something that we should probably look into, right?
That's a good question. That's going to require research for Medium.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's great, unless anyone else has any comments.
So again, everybody, as I don't want to repeat the same thing, but you can see it's the same for Obrika. It's the same for Satoshi's Lounge. Satoshi's Lounge actually is the only one that has an Instagram. Everything else is either going to be a Facebook, a Twitter, a LinkedIn, and then the meetup group as well. You can find that here, and this should take you, yes, to the Mauritius Blockchain Meetup. So again, have a look at the drive, take a look at the social media accounts. If you have anything that you want to write about, feel free to put it into the social media content or your own personal folders, and just tag me when you want to have it reviewed or taken a look at or simply just published. Does anybody have any questions at all? That's where we're at right now. And like I said, once we get more content, it's going to look really fantastic. One thing I have to emphasize, as James said, don't just like it for yourself, like it for your team. We have to, all like these things, share these things with each other, with our friends, with our family. That's the only way the word's going to get out organically. And from there, it will grow.
Yeah, and one of the things that I like, especially for those from the social media, like Ben as head of communication, and Victor, you're going to be supporting it from analytics and data, like a data perspective, knowing who our customers are, knowing who our people that interact with us are, push these sort of content. But there's really a scientific way of actually reaching out, and the first step is always more content. Every single thing that you can push out, right? And what happens is you've got this correlation, not with quality of content, but with quantity of content. Because what happens out there is the more you push it on all those various channels, somebody somewhere is going to associate with it. Right? So, and when that happens, it starts a snowball effect. So the quantity of content is absolutely important. The second thing is what I think we should look at, and I posted a deck from Gary V, right? I don't know if anyone's looked at it, but this is really interesting because the way that he does things is he actually sets out the layout, right, of how to make things all the time be as efficient as you can, and effectively take a large piece of content, like maybe a video or a vlog or whatever, and then break it down, right, into micro content, and then publish these micro content out there where people reside, right? So what you're doing is you're taking an hour video and you're breaking it down into 30, 50 pieces of content, right, of 1 minute each, wherever that is, with the right taglines, and then just disseminate it, right? The guy is really ridiculous. In one day, he can push out as much content as one of the big companies can do in a month, by just doing this and by being efficient. So what's interesting there from a Victor perspective, right, is you're going to have to be listening to what those people want and then recreate other micro content with different tags and push it back to them, right? So by being out there in the space, in the social media space, or I don't even call it social media, right? It's the new form of communication. It's like by being out there with people and interacting with this engagement, we are going to get the attention. And I don't know when it's going to come, but it will come, but it has to be constant. That's why I'm hopping on about you guys producing content for yourselves, because you're building a personal brand first. And we, DX Team or Ducorp XD, is effectively acting as your PR agents. That's it, right? At the core, we're funneling our stories and publishing it. So in this relationship, Ben is your head PR person, basically dragging your stories out, right, and telling it to the world, because that's the only way we're going to win out there. Okay, I just wanted to set that out.
That's exactly right. Anybody else have any questions? Anything to add? I appreciate the time. And again, please take a look at the list, follow all the channels, like everything you can.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, so, ooh-ah.
Ooh-ah.